Inland Sports.
All right, now let's go down live to Chaparral High School down in Temecula to check in with Pumas head coach Andrew Raymer and stud running back Devyne Pearson here on the show. Coach, big win against San Jacinto this past week. High-scoring game. I know you guys played some good teams through the first two games of the season, but to get a win against San Jacinto, what did that do just for the morale of this team?
Yeah, it was big. Started the season 0-2. We had some tough games, and we just got back to the basics. And huge win for us going into these two city rival games and then going into this Big West Conference. So definitely a morale booster, and we had some great play by Devyne. We call him Bruiser. So, yeah, he had a big game for us. So.
Oh, it's Devyne. I want to make sure I get it right. Devyne.
Yeah.
Devyne, so listen, you go for over 200 yards, 5 touchdowns in that game. You know, as a team, how bad did you guys need it? Did the players need it just to kind of build that confidence a little bit? Because you got some big games coming up. I know you got Temecula Valley and Great Oak coming up. How big was that for you guys?
I felt it was a pretty big game. We needed this game. It gave us the boosters to have confidence going into this huge new conference we're going into. We have some tough teams coming up. And I felt it helped bring us together. It helped the camaraderie of the team, the whole win in general.
Coach, does it make your job a lot easier when you got a guy like Devyne and you're like, hey, just give him the football. He's having himself a night. Let's just keep feeding this guy, and he's going to find the end zone.
Yeah, definitely. And, we talked to him, and, the first couple games, we were throwing the ball a lot. We got some great receivers making some plays, and just talked about patience, and we talked about being team players. And this whole offseason, we've been talking to our offense. We're super dynamic and explosive, and any guy can really take off for us. But we started watching him, how he's running the rock early in that game Thursday night against San Jacinto, and the offensive staff was like, hey, we got to keep giving this guy the ball right now. He was fighting through cramps and some injuries, and just playing his tail off.
All right, Coach, we kind of touched on it, but the next couple of weeks, big games for the city of Temecula. You got Temecula Valley this week. You got Great Oak the following week. Kind of paint that picture of what it means to be a city champion down there in Temecula, because there's a lot of good football, a lot of great players, programs, coaches. What does that mean to you guys?
It means a lot. I mean, that's our first goal. It's what we aim for every single year, to be a Temecula city champion. We're going for our 14th city championship. So it's definitely something that we hammer into our culture. And like you said, there's two great football programs out here, Temecula Valley and Great Oak. They do some great things on and off the field where we have to play our best game and continue to be Temecula city champs.
So, Devyne, how did you get your start in football? Did you have siblings who played, family members? I mean, have you played football your whole life?
Yeah, my older brother, he played football. So when I was like 4 years old, I used to go to his practice with his older team and stuff. That's really how I got into football, watching my older brother.
So you've always been around the game. You're just a football guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you always been a running back, or did you play Ironman football like on defense too?
Growing up, I usually played running back or linebacker. And as I got older, I moved to running back and corner.
Coach, when you got a guy like that, is it hard to be like, oh man, we could probably play him in the slot. He could probably play linebacker. He could probably maybe returns kicks. But I mean, this is a guy that you could probably use in a bunch of different spots, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we did. Last year, he was our running back number 2 behind Hunter Roddy, and then got his opportunity. Hunter got banged up. Went against Mirror Valley, had about 275 yards in that game. He played DB for us a lot. Still plays corner for us. Still plays all of our special teams. So he is the Iron Man. We call him Bruiser. He's a bruiser. He loves to work out. He loves the game of football, and he just gets after it. So he's definitely a football player.
If you play at Chaparral, I'm assuming you got to love the weight room, right? You got to love to be in there.
Most definitely. He definitely is one of the stronger skill guys, probably one of the stronger guys pound for pound in our program. Is always there. He just loves that culture, that weight room that we've established, like all of our guys do. And he runs hard. So you can tell that he's a physically gifted young man.
Well, Coach, obviously Devyne was a big part of that win against San Jacinto, but let's do a little name dropping. Who were some of the other guys that played a big part?
Well, offensively, we're going with two quarterbacks right now with Dash Byerly and Karan Tyler, both bringing different assets to our program and the offense to make it dynamic. They both played fantastic games for us. Stacey Dobbins had over 200-something total yards with kick returns and punt returns, and I think he had 6 catches for almost 100 yards and a touchdown while playing defense. And then the offensive players of the week were the offense line and our H-backs. Jacob Alvarez and Robert Besançon getting into the run game. We run a lot of power and counter. But yeah, a lot of those guys. Raymond Valencia was playing receiver and DB the whole game for us. Tommy Long made some big time catches. Jake Whitehead came in and caught a nice 40-yard catch. So super spread out. A lot of guys making plays for us, and then defense making enough stops, right, in that offensive shootout against San Jacinto's great offense. So overall, it's just a great team win.
All right, finally, guys, Devyne, I'll go back to you. I'm not trying to give away all your secrets, but Devyne, what do you think you guys have to do well on Friday against Temecula Valley to get a win against the Golden Bears?
I feel like if our O-line does how we did last week, we could beat any team that we play coming up. Because I feel like our O-line did like 10 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, it's a big one. Again, big win against San Jacinto in 2 weeks, 2 big weeks in front of you guys right now with those Temecula rivals. Coach Raymer, Devyne, Pearson, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the time. Congrats on that big win, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Pep. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got it. That is Chaparral here on the Inland Sports Show. We appreciate them. Big win for the Pumas this previous week, and a couple big weeks going before they get to league play in the Big West. Inland Sports.